There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, yesterday came suddenly.
Well, welcome, Bob Whitaker. The collection's called The Unseen Beatles. The question is, why haven't we seen the pictures over the last 3 decades?
Well, they've been in various sheds and barns that I've had on various farms. It's something that was past. It was put away. I've been farming with my wife for the last 20-odd years, and now I've started to pull them all out again, and the book is a result of dragging them out of the chicken shed.
But they must have been extremely valuable property at the time when the Beatles were at the height of their fame. Couldn't you have flogged them for a great deal of money to newspapers around the world?
Possibly, but then a lot of the pictures in the book don't lend themselves as four or a picture of four Beatles, whereas they are single pictures, pictures of them lying down, pictures of them in hotels.
Yeah,
they're
a bit too unusual and esoteric.
Pictures that are publicity media minded.
Yeah.
Whereas it is a record of their lives on tour.
Yes.
At home.
Because you toured with them, what, for 4 years, was it?
2 years.
2 years, that's
2
right.
years, yeah. What did you think of them, Bob? I mean, were you fond of them?
I absolutely loved them from the time I was in Australia, even to now. They're an absolute period of time, people who worked off each other and produced an enormous amount of pleasure.
And still do.
For everybody in the world, and there aren't many people that have done it since.
I think it's a very good example of that. I saw this picture actually published in a magazine that was featuring this book, The Unseen Beatles. I'll hold it to this camera here. It's this one. It shows them walking in a park, I think it was Chiswick Park in London, back in 1966. And this is a schoolgirl who just happened, I mean, the dream came true, to bump into two of the Beatles. And you say in the book that they were absolute gentlemen.
Absolutely charming to her. I mean, she was dumbstruck meeting them to start with anyhow, and they just said, well, we're as normal as you are, and
just look at the
took her for a
expression.
lovely walk. And
just look at the expression on her face. I've got this extra haunting picture. I mean, it really struck me. She's absolutely... you said earlier she looked like that all the way through the walk. I mean, gobsmacked.
All the way through, yes, right the way through. And they were tremendous. I mean, they could have terrified her.
Yes.
But they didn't. They were just perfect gentlemen.
Were they always nice to their fans?
Yes, I've never known, or I never saw any time that they were beastly or offensive or anything like that. And they had a lot of people to look after, including people in wheelchairs and lying on beds, and people would come to them thinking that if they touched them they'd be healed. And
really?
Never
touched the hem of the garment,
yeah. Yes. And fortunately they took all that in their stride, but when you can imagine how much work they had to do, they've worked flat
Picture
out.
that graces the back cover of the book, which we've got mounted up here, which is of Cynthia and John and Julian. And, I mean, she's actually been slightly trimmed off, but she's holding a mop, and he's carrying, is it a golden hoe?
The hoe isn't golden, the spoon in Julian's hand is golden.
Why?
And this was at their house in Weybridge, and it's after Bohemia, really. It is from another picture that I took of a friend of mine in America. I beg your pardon, in Australia. And it just signifies a period of their lives as a normal family.
This is where John's actually playing Narcissus. Actually,
Yes,
that's
in the garden.
That's back in Weybridge, isn't it?
That's again in
Cynthia
Weybridge.
looking on. Did you have to... I mean, a lot of pop stars will not... Can we just stay with this picture for a minute, please? A lot of pop stars... Can we just stay with this picture? There we are. A lot of pop stars will not play ball with photographers like you. I mean, to get him to pose like that, to get Cynthia to sit on the wall, you must have had to actually earn their trust. You must have had to be very close to them.
Well, it was a question of we all, or John, Cynthia, and I understood each other over various periods of art history, like surrealism, Dadaism, illusion, through various Greek gods, of where Narcissus came from. And it made for a more open way of taking photographs instead of just sticking 4 boys on a box or something and say, right, do this, do that, do that. To put illusion together and make something for them was
Yes.
was exactly what was
Well,
required.
they're remarkable pictures, they really are. And
Yes, thank you, Bob. And while you're here, we want you to do another task for us.
Oh, yes.
Being
Yes.
such a top photographer, we ran, I'm sure, where are you? You're over there. Actually, we ran, I'm sure if you were watching earlier, you'll have seen we had Arthur Edwards, who is, you could say, Princess Diana's favourite photographer from the Sun, but I suspect he's not really. He launched a competition asking you to send in your holiday snaps, your favourite holiday snaps. What's the prize, Richard?
prize, which goes to the winner. I mean, had absolutely sackfuls of entries, you can tell. It's an Olympus camera. It's the. It's written in Japanese. I can't understand this. What is it? Would you understand that? Muji One.
Muji One,
The
yeah.
Muji One.
Yeah.
It's a top camera. It's a great camera.
Probably
very
good
versatile.
Brilliant.
And tons of entries, as Richard said. We've had some very funny ones which didn't quite make it. We've actually got a selection of 3 quite funny little ones here. Where are they? There we are. Right, that's... Oh, yes. Dog enjoying the sun there. What
Sylvia
can we say?
Bowman.
Don't know where it was. Sylvia Bowman from East Lothian.
Nice picture. That's from Mrs. J. Ball from Southport. Like that one. Reminds us of what happened to our kids about 2 weeks ago. And on we go to another one.
Mrs. Batchelor. Well, that isn't Mrs. Batchelor, I sincerely hope. Mrs. Batchelor's child peering down her knickers,
Yes.
and we all know for what. Now, we thought they were lovely photographs. Thank you for sending them to us. They didn't quite win. Here's the 4 finalists, which Bob here